Hello, family, and welcome to yoga. I'm so happy that you're here. Today, we're going to be doing a taste of yin. So, in yin yoga, we usually hold poses somewhere between 90 seconds and 5 minutes because we want to get into the deeper tissues of our bodies by using time instead of force. Today, it's just a taste of yin, so we'll be holding poses for around 90 seconds, maybe to 2 minutes. You don't really need any props for this practice, but if you'd like, you can have a blanket nearby. If you have yoga blocks, you can grab a couple of those. I like to keep them there. I don't know if I'm going to use them or not, but I like to have them nearby in case I want to prop myself up. If you don't have yoga blocks, soft covered books will work well too sometimes. So the first pose that we're going to practice is called butterfly pose. So bring the soles of the feet together. Now, your choice, depending on the flexibility, you can bring the feet very close in toward the body or slightly away. If it feels like you're tipping backward, you can use a blanket just to sit on. So I'm going to actually demonstrate that. And that blanket helps you to roll toward the front end or front edge of your sitting bones. So once you find a comfortable space, you just hold and breathe. Yin yoga is the perfect practice to really slow down and feel. Yin yoga is truly the art of allowing. We don't press or tug or force. We allow. And time is our friend. So there's a couple of different things you can do while you're in butterfly pose. You can sit in stillness, try not to fidget, and focus on your breath. If you feel like you can go a little bit deeper, you can slowly round forward and just stop where the body guides you to stop and breathe. So focus on the sensations of loosening your jaw and focus inward on your breath. If you are called by your body to go a little bit deeper, you can round the spine. You don't have to endeavor to keep your spine straight. You can just let the spine drape forward. I'm just gently holding on to my feet, but if it feels like you're tugging, maybe turn your palms upward in a surrender. Find the stillness. Follow the breath. If the body calls for it, you can fold a little deeper. If not, hang out right where you are. Find that comfortable edge where you can hold and breathe just a few more seconds. If you wanted to hold more, if you're watching the recording, you could pause this video, hold a little bit longer. Now in Yin Yoga, coming out of the pose is just as important as going in. So we are called to move very slowly. So using your hands for support, maybe placing the hands on the sides of the body and slowly rolling yourself back up to seated. Take the hands to the outer knees. Use the arm muscles to press the legs together. Extend the legs. And you can even kind of windshield wiper the feet and legs. Just kind of wiggle all that out. Another thing that you can do is bring the hands behind the back, maybe on the fingertips or palms. Roll the shoulders down and just offer the heart to the sky. A little counter stretch before we move into our next yin posture. Beautiful. Release. Now we're going to move into our next pose. So bend your right knee and place it somewhere on the inside of your left leg. From this space, you can keep your legs quite narrow, or you can take that left leg out to the side. Your choice. Lengthen your spine and then gently rotate the torso to face the leg. From here, if you have space, start to walk forward. Again, stopping where the body stops and breathe. Now here is a nice thing that you can do if you have pillows or a blanket, or if you have yoga blocks, you can stack them on your leg and just let your head rest. So that is one option, or you can just surrender. Deep breath here. And once again, notice where the sensations are. Notice where you're holding on. Are you holding on to tension in your jaw? If you are, let that go. Find your edge and hold. One of the most challenging things about a yin practice is that we tend to want to wiggle or fidget. Find the stillness here and let the pose work for you. In a yin practice, we hold the pose so the pose works for us instead of doing work in the pose like we would in a more active pose. Again, at any time if you'd like, and it won't disturb the pose, you can lengthen the spine slightly forward and see if you can dip in a little bit deeper and then hold. Allow yourself to go inside. Feel where the breath moves. Take another few moments just to surrender. So you don't really need any muscle energy in the legs. You can, but you don't need to, because the focus here, again, is not the legs, but the spine and the hips. And then once again, using your hands, going slow, the opposite of fast. Use your hands to walk yourself back up. And it is natural to kind of feel like this, when you come out. Go ahead and extend both legs again. Kind of wiggle side to side. If you need to, roll the shoulders back and put the fingertips or palms on the floor, offer the heart upward. Little counter stretch from that forward bend. And then we go to the other side. So left leg comes in. Again, you can keep this right leg out, or if you have that space to the side. And then lengthen the spine, rotate the torso to face the leg, and begin to make your descension. So it is perfectly fine to flex that right foot if you want. It doesn't affect anything. Some people like that, but you don't have to have any muscle energy in the leg. It really doesn't affect the target of the pose. Know that we're different on both sides of the body. So not trying to push or shove or force our bodies into a position. Again, Yin Yoga is about allowing and noticing. It's one of the most mindful physical practices that I've ever done. Yin Yoga, for me, forces me to tell the truth. How far can I really ease into the pose and then allow the work to happen instead of me trying to force and make the work happen? And then seeing how that approach affects my brain, affects my emotions, and just watching like a quiet observer. If you want, you can lengthen the spine a little bit and see if your body is ready to surrender in a little bit more deeply. If not, just hang out. Focus in on the breath again. Focus in on sensation. Focus in on letting go as much as you can. And once again, using your hands for support, slowly walk yourself back up. And extend the legs. Letting any movement come in that feels like it brings you back into that balance space. Beautiful. Let's add a little twist in there. It is not a yin pose, but sometimes it feels kind of good to twist. Lengthen the spine and gently rotate to your right. Let's keep this twist soft because we did a lot of strong work in the spine by just allowing it to lengthen. So not too hard here. And then inhale, come center. And exhale, rotate the other way. Again, remember, go slow. So even though this is not a yin pose, as we're not holding it long enough, approach it from a space of compassion and allowing. So we're not pushing, we're just letting the spine rotate. Nice. And then come back to center. Let's make our way onto the belly. We're going to do a pose called Sphinx pose. And in this pose, we are propped up onto the elbows and forearms. So I like to keep my arms shoulders width apart, completely propped up by the forearms. Roll the shoulders back. The legs are about hips width apart. You can have them wide or narrow. I like mine a little bit wider. It feels better in my back. And then from here, once again, we hold, find that edge and hold and breathe. We won't hold this one as long as the others, as this pose, for many people, including me, is pretty confronting in that it really makes me feel pretty fragile after I do this pose and hold it for 90 seconds to 2 minutes. Also, as with anything, if you feel like you need to come out of a pose at any time, do it. You don't have to hold it as long as I'm holding it. You can hold it for as long as what feels good, let go, and then revisit. Hold and breathe. And right away you'll feel where the target is, right at that low back. Opens the chest a little bit as well. Try to keep the jaw nice and loose. Try to keep a smile on the face. The poses in Yin Yoga aren't hard themselves. They're not like pretzely poses. The challenge is just holding, not fidgeting, finding that comfortable edge and surrendering. And slowly release. Oh my gosh. Turn your head all the way to the left. And then take your left leg and bend it. Draw that knee up toward the elbow just to release the back. Deep breath. Let the back release. Think about breathing right into the low back. And then releasing that leg. Turn the head to the right. And the same thing. Draw the right knee up toward the elbow. Deep breath. And then extend the leg onto the floor and then just roll over onto the back. Roll over onto the back. And then one leg at a time, just hug the knee in. I've got my right knee. It doesn't matter if it's right or left. Let's give it a good squeeze. And then place that leg down, squeeze the other one in. We're coming to the end of our taste of yin. Yin classes, you could really get into the body when the classes are around 45 minutes to an hour. This is just our taste. Both knees hug in. Give it a big squeeze. If you want, because sometimes we feel a little fragile here, draw the navel in toward the spine and then roll head, neck, and shoulders off of the mat. So engage the abs. It'll feel like you're putting the spine back together. And then lower down. Place the feet onto the floor. And when you're ready, roll to one side. Use your hands for support. Ease yourself up into a comfortable seat. And bring the hands to the heart. Let the heart lift and do just notice what it's like to sit after this very brief yin practice. The benefits of this practice for me are so immense. This is my favorite thing to do in yoga now. I hope that you really enjoyed it, and may you be happy, healthy, safe, and whole. Namaste.